Niiamah Ashong here. I'm looking forward to spending time with you here on the Outliers as live. We're getting everyone into this space here, so wherever you are, come on in and let us know. Leave a message. Let us know where you are in the world. We'd love to come and have you come and play. And what we're going to do right now is I have a real treat, right? Real treat in space for you all. It's a treat for me. That's we're going to use it for you as well. So, look, my name is Niiamah Ashong. I am the founder of Outliers Edge and the Outliers Edge movement, where we gather together extraordinary leaders like yourself and who have lived a life where they do things differently. And we create spaces for us to continue to practice being all of who we are, to see all of what we have to offer, and to make sure that we're able to bring that energy and difference toward the change that we're on this planet here for. All right. And what I love to do in particular underneath this is to help people build out systems and engines. I call them engines that continue to support the impact you're looking to make in a sustainable way. So making sure you have impact, your income, and your identity all taken care of. And so today we have something different that's taken place, and I'm going to set us up here for the conversation. So we go live every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and I realized this weekend that I actually had a stand-in conflict with that on Monday. Something that and that conflict there became an opportunity. You see, today we have Sase on the conversation, Lori Sase. She's one of my coaches, and she spends time working with me on a regular basis. And I found myself in a place where I had a crossroads. It was we could either like cancel the call, reschedule the call, or reschedule the live stream, and so on and so forth. And I realized that one of the gifts of the 10,000 minutes live game that I'm playing right now is that it allows me to, it has me stretching myself out of my comfort zone. It has me doing things and sharing things and showing up in a way that I wouldn't before, like normally. It feels that wouldn't feel acceptable normally. And so this went from like a thing where I'm like a challenge that I had to go and overcome to, okay, well, let's now use this as an opportunity, right? Like, I'm going to get coached. Like, what if part of the coaching was being in, like, allowing that to be shared publicly? Now, in a bit, we're going to walk you through, give you some context of what it's like, where it is, because you're not coming into a one-off conversation. This is an ongoing relationship that Sauce and I have here. It actually started with her coming onto the Outliers Edge podcast, like the roundtable. And in our first conversation, I actually invited her to lead me through some things, and it's led to that conversation was one of the major ripples that have led to this moment here. All right. So Sauce, in a bit, I'm going to bring you in just a bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little bit more time just getting everyone set up here, and then we'll mesh everything in and let you set a little bit of context in terms of like the work you do, kind of where we are as well. All right. So
Perfect.
perfect. So where things are going to go is that I'm going to set up the structure for a bit of the day, and then I'll tell you a little bit about like kind of where the conversations have gone in the past. And then I've asked Sauce to honestly, I'm just like, I'm here for me. This one here, I get great results when I spend time with her, and we discussed about like, do we change the nature of this conversation to be, more reflective, or to share about like the power of things? And it's like, no, like I'm here for a coaching session. Like I want the real deal. And one of the things that was really that I want to make sure I say out loud is that I had to I really had to come to terms with being okay with doing this. And one of the things that was really funny for me was that I was saying, like, we do live coaching here. I invite people all the time, like, hey, just leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know if there's something you want to work on. Just come on in. We'll come work on it, right? And here I am as someone who has a platform that is a coach, has a platform where I'm coaching others. I'm inviting people to get coached live and publicly as well. And then when I have opportunity to go to my own coach, who I trust, respect, and love so deeply, and I have an opportunity to be like, hey, do you want to come and play? I'm like, but what is it going to mean? How am I going to be seen? Will people still think that I'm an authority? Yes, I'm kind of meta. Like, is that how it gets done? And I realized that it actually put me right into my Outliers edge. This is like, I'm doing it the way that I do it. And I don't see other people that I follow bringing on their mentors, their coaches, and the people who support them to actually support them in real time. They might talk about working together, but they don't actually do it. And so this is we're walking into my edge, and at the same time, I'm grateful for it. Know that there is there's an additional level of coaching and transformation taking place, which is the level of me becoming even more comfortable and recognizing the power of like the fact that this conversation will be viewed by other people. The fact that this is not just like a private area here. Like I got to ask myself, I got to like, you'll hear the conversation that's taking place. I don't know where we're going to go. Salsa's like really magical with the work that she does. So I trust in that place. But know that underneath this is also an opportunity for me to see how do I show up as a leader? Like, in what places am I willing to go privately that I'm not willing to go publicly? What does it feel like for anyone who comes into my space? Because the Outliers Edge movement is a public movement, right? We're out in the world. And the reason that we're public is so that we don't have to be two different people. We can just be all of ourselves all the time. And it's something to talk about that work, but it's another thing to practice it. So you're actually seeing me in my practice here. And I'm going to invite you to like to watch and listen and to participate with both of those lenses on, right? See where you think I'm holding back. See where you might have held back, like all that. You get a chance to play and know that like uh, I'm excited. There's when I have this conversation, I'm sitting here for my coaching session. So I'm not trying to interact with anyone during this year. You get to be a fly on the wall for it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. And what we'll do is that at the end of the session here, like when I'm wrapped and complete, then we'll come back to the comments and we'll go take a look at that there. All right. All right. With that being said, let me bring in Sauce. Sauce, thanks so much for being open to this here. Thanks for playing this out. Um, is there in a bit? I'll let people get some more context as to like where we kind of are and like some of the characters and players who show up in our work here. But before we do that, would you like to just like introduce yourself? Let make sure people know who you are, and then we'll go from there. So we'll do our introductions first, and then we'll just like get into the work.
Of course. Well, thank you, Niiamah. I'm so excited about your live streams. I've caught some of them, or most of them, I think. And it's interesting that Chat GPT recently said to you, like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Do both. And that's actually what we're doing here too. When you were saying, should we reschedule it or should we go live? And actually, let's do both. So that was really interesting to me. I'm so happy to be here. So, like you said, my name's Lori Sase, but I go by my nickname Sauce. Pretty much everyone calls me that, even my doctors. So, Sauce is my name. I am a life coach. I also do grief tending. Um, I'm a consultant, but also I do soul work. And I'll explain that briefly, but I bridge life coaching and soul work in a way that allows people to go a little bit deeper into their resistances. And so everybody has different niches, but this is mine. So life coaching is a lot about spirit and dream pursuit and life expression and the ascent, the positivity, go get it, it's powerful. And then soul work is more of the descent. It holds wounds, it holds past vulnerabilities, it allows shame to be seen. And the reason that we do that is to allow all of these things to be warmed. And in the spirit of alchemy, when wounds are warmed, they're allowed to transmute into something more beautiful and into some medicine that you bring the world as a result of your experiences. So, what we learn is that wounds are human. They're not something that we should be ashamed of. They might cause us to have beliefs that are limiting. They might cause us to have lower views of ourselves, or we might have translated that to be something that we that we have self-doubt around. But when we go back to the origin of what those wounds are, we allow old fictions to release and we allow new truths to take their place. And so that's some of what we have been working with. I also want to say in the same breath that Niiamah has coached me before. He has a different expertise, and Niiamah is a fantastic coach. He will allow you to take your vision and explode with it. He does not have any doubts. He will be a catalyst for you to be even more excited about what you do. And he will not blink when you bring your dream forward. He will get you to so many levels higher that you cannot go wrong with Niiamah. And that's the thing about coaching, right, Niiamah, is that there are things that we can't see for ourselves. So it's not that um, I'm a higher level coach than him. What it is that in this hour or whatever, we have a relationship where we come together on, it was Mondays. And for that time, we agree that I will coach and he will, be client. Um, Marcia Reynolds, who's a international coach, a very well known one, she says that coaching is akin to being it's akin to like being tickled, where physiologically we can't really tickle ourselves because we put up so many resistances. But if someone else comes for, if someone else comes, they don't have those same resistances. So similarly with coaching, we can't always coach ourselves because we don't see our resistances as someone from the outside does. So that's our agreement for this time today, and our relationship um, when it takes this form. But yeah, so I think I'll hand it back to you, Niiamah, to give a little context as to where our work has been. But that's who I am, and that's the work I do in the world.
Well, I'm appreciative of it. Yeah, it's really, really special to me. And I think one of the things that's really lovely here, Laura, is like, yeah, we are peers. Like we come here, we work with each other. But I literally found I came out one time and I was like, hey, we're going back and forth. And I'm like, I actually just think that I just want to get support. I want to be able to just show up in a way where I can get support. I think that like that there outliers just like there's something to this. I think a lot of us have ways that we exchange. We find different ways to go through it, and I think that sometimes, like if you know that something's working for you, go for it. All right, go for it. Like create the space for it. And so in this conversation, like I'm showing up to be served, and I think even like in this space here, like I've been really, like, I'm not hiding it. I'm like I'm gonna get coached. Like I'm here for this. This is not me putting on a show. I do not have like there may be 1,000 people who watch this, maybe zero, but either way, like I'm like the progress, the journey that we're on is going to continue. So let me let you know a little bit about like something to give you a little bit of context, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the time with Sase just like leading me through it. So one of the things that has come up over our coaching experiences is that, and Sase, you're more of an expert on this. I'll let you talk more about this here. But we talk about like the adult presence in our younger self a
Right.
lot. So that's a big part of the context of our ongoing conversations. And I have established a group of like um, two parts. One, there's my younger self, and then there's another side of me that has what I call the council. And the council is like my different parts of me, different variations of me, who are all integrated in some sorts of way, but they have different uh, desires. They stand for different things, and there are different parts of me that that wrestle with me and for me and against all at the same time, right? So you're going to hear it. Um, I'll let you know a couple of the different characters that are at play. We have Papa Niiamah. This is the one that's like interested in my security and like making sure that my family's good. Not like that kind of thing. Like that's the Papa shows up. We have Watson. You might also hear me call him Heyman. But he's the logical one. He's like and it's just almost like all logic take place there. We have Nemo. Right. If y'all know me for a while, Nemo has been a big part of who I was and who I am still. And Nemo loves to see me push, like he loves to see me have fun. He loves to see me like push the envelopes of what most people would think would. He's good at finding things that are ridiculous. And like typically these three are at play, and then there's also my younger self, and then there's also my soul. And you because like the soul right now, like we just call it like my soul. It doesn't have like another name that's in it, right? But together, these people are the current members of the council that play along with me. We may or may like they may or may not show up in the conversation, but I just want to make sure that like when that we have the space to define this on similar terms, so that we're good. And I'm going to say this here, and Sauce, this is also for you.
Hmm.
Um, there are going to be things that happen in this conversation that people don't understand because they don't have the background context. I'm not worried about that, right? And I think the reason
Okay.
for that here is that like I can always provide the context later on, all right? The key here is, to me, I'm giving Outliers an opportunity to be a fly on the wall for this portion of the conversation, and then when it's time for us to wrap this part up, then we will move into something else. And we have about like 25 minutes of doing this part of the game, and then hopefully we can take like the last 5 minutes from like this can be 11:10 on my end, but like the last 5 minutes to go and kind of debrief together, and I'll wrap up with Outliers, right? So that I think is
Okay.
going to be the game plan. We'll probably spend the next half hour here together. And yeah, Outliers, like welcome to the game. I think there's something here. I guess the last thing I'm going to say is that like Sauce is one of my coaches, and like I have a number of people who support me, and I think that this is something that like is like a bit funny to me in like the coaching industry, where they're like, "Well, I already have a coach." I'm like, okay, like are they doing what I'm doing? Like, are they like? Do you have only one need? Like, there's just so many different ways to get support from like, and I found that like it's been helpful to have people be able to call in people who can do. Sauce does something that no one else that I know does, and we work together, and the things that happen after we talk like ends up being incredibly useful. And there's other people I go to for other things. I just think that it's really fun to like put that into the space here of like, what if you could have a team of people supporting you? The same way you can imagine a boss or your company having different employees or different people working with you to help you go toward a goal. Like that's the same way I look at it when it comes to our growth and who we are being as leaders, and the impact that we're making out in the world. So like you might come out of this and be like, Niiamah, I love what you do. I love being a part of the movement. I love working with you, and also the thing that happened with Sauce, like I want more of that. Like reach out to her, like make that connection. Like just know that I come from in a place of abundance, which is like more is just more, right? And for the things that we're trying to do, it just takes a lot of support. And so, with that being said, you can feel free to leave any comments you want. Like go in here. Sauce and I have an agreement that we're going to come back to all comments at the end of this year. And now I'm going to go into my coaching session with you all being here. All right. Sauce, that work for you? You get to play that way? All right,
Perfect.
cool.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Let's go. Game on. Just now it's just us in the regular game.
Okay. So since our time is just a little bit shorter than we normally would, Niiamah, what would you say is a good place for us to focus in on um, in your current life?
Yeah.
And with that, we'll then sort of dig a little bit deeper to work with younger selves and your counsel.
Yeah. So I think that the one of the big things for me right now is um, I'm enjoying playing the 10K live game. It's really helping me see a lot of different things. There's something that always goes on in the back of my mind, which is okay. You know that you can create content. You know you can do something ridiculous, and like that stuff works for you. But will you actually like have you finished like connecting your engine and your business systems together? And in particular, the biggest thing right now is around invitations. I don't feel like I have an invitation engine going on, which is to invite people to come be a part of the movement. Like I even recognized right before we got here, I was like, oh, this has been a wonderful time for me to say, like, hey, by the way, like we do this like live. If you want to be coach or anything, like I'll do like you can come on, go use a QR code and do that. Like that was going on through the back of my mind here, where it's like, oh, what am I actually doing to invite people in? Because I think there's things I'll figure out with the live streaming and stuff, but I think I have crossover, like whatever I need to cross over to get like the first parts of this year. And now it's like, yeah, I think I'm really searching for a genuine way to invite people to come be a part of the movement that exists both on school and through these live conversations. Um, and I just haven't invited in a very long time. And I I find myself being so willing to go and do almost everything other than this, you know. Um, and my mind just went down to when I said everything other than this, it went back to like the Magic the Gathering. I'm like still finding myself like, playing against myself, not even with real people in that space. And I think that there's a component of we were able to create a game like accidentally and very organically that led to the live streams. Like I mean, it was with you a week
Hmm.
ago where like the idea of playing more came in. Uh I haven't found the game. I think is really what's happened. I haven't found the invitation game that feels real for me. And with it, I haven't found like the. I think I need to like I haven't woken up my soul recently to actually like lead us to purpose or through purpose. I think I'm still kind of showing up as like an individual with a thing, like with a brand and with an idea to get out in the world. And I haven't really grounded and
Hmm.
rooted into coming from coming at this with coming at the invitations more fully. I also found myself in this breath right here, feeling another sense of like I'm playing this game too almost like reactionary, I want to say. Or in response, like responsionary. I don't know if that's a thing, but
I
uh
love that word.
yeah, there's a component of this that looks at this and says, like what systems could be built like it doesn't feel as it feels like I'm being very present and then having to respond to what's there and kind of if I'm more scrappy right now than I need to be.
Hmm.
It feels like I could go and clean up things and have like have my introduction set and this is what I say every time and so on and so forth and I'm feeling that, but underneath that is probably just like another opportunity to not invite people right away. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like if I can play in that space,
Hmm.
that's the goal that I have. And yeah, part of me doesn't feel it feels silly at some in some parts where it's just like, well, then just go invite people. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm trying to do this in a way where I have an ongoing. I have a lot of people in my world. I can go reach back out to them. I think one of my projects right now is to take my existing like school community and like warm it back up, like get people back in there and engage in, so the movement isn't just like I have a space for it. It's like this is where we're actually like I can come and talk about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, yo, yesterday like X, Y, and Z happened inside the space, and if you're not there, what are you doing? Come on, like like or like there's just like I can feel my energy shifting here, but like I like that. I think that's how I would like to um market, to create, to let people know what's going on. So it's less about me talking about the power of coaching and how much powerful you are as an outlier. And it's just me showcasing and celebrating and valuing and seeing all the people who like are in the space and the wonderful things that they're doing and we're building together. And I think that feels really real. Like there's a
Hmm.
space in me that's like I need to get on the other side of leading. Like right now, I'm not leading the movement. Right now, I'm telling people about a movement. You know,
Hmm.
but it's there's nothing that I'm leading yet, and it's that feels real for me. So that's I'd love to be able to play somewhere in that space. I don't know where to go from there, but that's what's real for me right now.
No, thank you. Okay. Since we have a limited time, what I'm going to do is bring in a few things. If you saw, I took a little couple of notes. If you saw me look aside, I think you started to coach yourself actually.
Mm,
So what I want to do is let me bring a few points in and see if we're on the same page with that. There's a lot of solidity to your ideas about bringing people in, so that's the main thing is bringing people in for this conversation. One thing you wanted was to have a genuine invitation. Another was the excitement of like, yo, like if you're not here, what are you doing? That's the belief in what this space is, what it genuinely is, and actually what people have already experienced with you. And and then you also said, I think I can figure out ways to do the intros. That was actually in the back of my head while we were talking. To me, that's adult presence. All really grounded. So I'm going to turn it back to you in just a second. But I think you have you need to create those systems of invitations, and you also have the belief in what you're creating, and so do others. Okay. Um, and then you said, my soul is not quite online in this. I thought that was so weird. That happened right
yeah,
when I said my soul's not quite online. Okay. So
yeah,
but from our work together, I believe that it's not hard for you to access your soul. And so I think with a limited amount of time, I'm going to leave you to that if that's okay. I think the bit that we might want to play with is when you said, I think it's underneath that. And that's also what I have a hunch about. And when you said it feels silly, that's an indication to me that that might be, could be a younger part, because that might touch the parts that don't feel quite as solid and grounded. It's not silly, as we know, as both of us who have remembrances of our childhood or beliefs that we ascertained along the way. It's not silly. But whenever we have two voices of like, I really know this is worth inviting people to, but for some reason underneath it all, I'm just not doing it. To me, that means adult presence is here, but there's a younger resistance possibly. So if it's okay with you, I would love to check in with the younger point of view. Does that sound
Yeah,
okay if I ask
that'd be
questions
good.
around that?
Yeah, that'd
Okay.
be really good. I do want to let you know something that came in like that I hadn't actually considered, which was when you brought in like you basically said something along the lines of I trust you to be able to like bring your soul online, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a novel thought to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea that like because I what I interpreted that as I can just bring the soul on, and like I've brought to you like oh, my soul comes online after I do my priming exercise, after I do the chi meditation. I have to take the 15 minutes to go do it. And it had never occurred to me, like honestly, it never occurred to me that like I could just turn like invite the soul in. Like so instead of like my soul being offline or online as
Yeah.
I've been looking at it, it's almost like it almost feels like my soul was like invisible and not then like it's like always present, but like I just wasn't turning to it. I wasn't listening to it. I had it on mute, whatever it was. And so I'll be playing in this conversation as like what if I didn't? What if I could just bring my soul back in? What if I can bring myself back into purpose? So hopefully it's not too loud in terms of the snaps there. But in here to be feel like it. One of those things to just awaken it just because I feel like it. All right. So with that being said, yes, I'm happy to. I wanted to make sure I presence that. I don't want to forget that. Um, and yeah, I'm happy to go with
Mm-hmm.
with whatever you're seeing.
Okay, and we can always circle back to that soul too, and just to note that that soul is slightly, that's your purpose, that's your deep soul, slightly different than the way I was talking about soul. There's a lots of different languaging for soul, but okay, so yeah, you and I, we can circle back to that too. But thank you, that's a great distinction, and that's an interesting bit that you just brought in. So I think we hold that, we don't let that go. Okay. Um, I would love, Niiamah, for you see if there's anything around play or games when you were younger, and, and as what it for middle school or your teen self, what your experience as a younger person was around inviting people. So what we're doing is we're looking for that POV of the invitation when you're playing. How did that, what was that experience, or how did that feel for your younger self?
Oh wow, that was really good. Because when you were asking me to, like just play overall with young, I had like nothing there, like nothing's coming.
Mm,
But then when you brought in the invitation ends, like that really started to hit. So I think that the thing that's come through what flew up for me was just that like uh this idea of like I wanted to be accepted, wanted to be it wasn't just wanted to be accepted, like I wanted to be a part of it. I think that to me that like that feels different. Like accepted is like, okay, you're good, you can be on your own, but I wanted to be a part of it. um and this just memories of thoughts of like, hey, can Nini come out to come play? Like having a door knock and then someone being invited in. I've shared with you different things where I was like, I didn't know about like Odyssey of the Mind growing up, and I knew all my friends in elementary school were doing it. I'm just like, I don't know how to get in, right? And I think there's something about like invitation to me as like the pathway in. It's like I can see a bunch of people doing it, but if I'm not invited, I don't like I can see it's almost as if like yeah, it's almost as if there's like this like I can see everything that's available, and there's like this glass partition in between, and I don't know how people like. I know where I'm at. I know that people were where I was beforehand, and then like got on the other side of the glass partition. I'm like, how did you get there? Like what's the way
Mm,
in? And so, but like, so invitation to me has been like, it's almost as if like, this is gonna be completely like anime made out, but it's almost as if like there's this glass petition there. You can see what's happening, and people go on the other side of the petition. And the only way, like when I try and walk to the glass, I kind of get like I get hit, like it shows up as a full glass thing. But if someone comes over, reaches through the glass, all of a sudden it becomes like more ethereal, starts shimmering. And then like if they grab my hand through an invitation, let's say, or a sponsorship, but like an invitation, like then all of a sudden that I can pass through, you know.
mhm,
And so when I think about
mhm,
my my youth, it was just like it's just a lot of like having to figure things out on my own. Wanting to, I didn't invite a lot of people to my house. My parents weren't around like in like during the day as much, so it was a lot more like evening time kind of stuff. So I didn't invite like I wanted to hang out with people, but I didn't have like the ability like the hang like I couldn't invite them over, right? And it's not like I'm not like blaming my parents or anything like that. It's not that. But it's
mhm, mhm,
like inviting them over to my house wasn't gonna be the way that we went and did things, you know? And so I think that as I'm talking this out loud, I think there was just always a desire to like go and play, but like I needed to be invited, in order to go and
mhm,
play. Um and Yeah, that feels about right. That feels like yeah, that feels like it feels about right. And I think that there's this like I don't know if I was like a big invitee back then.
mhm,
Like I don't know like if I like really considered myself to be all that inviting. Um, I was more like PC and wanted to make sure that I got along with everyone so that I could be invited. I didn't really feel like I had a
mhm,
place. I think that's the other thing. Is like I didn't really feel like I had like my own place until several years into high school. And so with that, it was like, all right, if I don't have my own place, then I need to be invited into someone else's space, you know? Um,
mm,
and when I was invited, that felt really, 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 really good.
yeah. Okay, so that really touches me. And on just a side note, this obviously won't be the topic of the conversation, but I feel this place very tenderly, because of my own childhood wounds and experiences around invitation, and my own thoughts around my Asianness and waiting to be invited or hoping to be invited or not being invited. So just on a human level, I want to say like this is a place of like tenderness for my young self. It's
Mm.
But the beautiful thing about it, Niiamah, is that I'm seeing a lot of possibility in medicine for you too because of these experiences. So let's see if we can language it in soul terms. A couple of things that I note is that, and I'm going to use he for you, for your younger self. So if he didn't have the chance to invite people to his home, just circumstantially, I know we're not blaming your parents, but that became almost a way, right? A habit of not inviting because there wasn't the home. And as a teen, it sounds like it took a while, I think you said, to have your own place. So you'd be waiting more for the invitation.
Yeah, and
All,
it's not like a physical place, but it's like it took a
mhm.
while before like the original council, my like high school friends until like that really solidified. Like it was like that's really where I was coming from. More like it wasn't like I got my own place.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and that's important to the metaphorical, right? The metaphorical as well as the literal, but there so as we're looking for like what the point of view of the younger self could have been, the habituation was to not invite. But the
It was the
invitation,
wait to be invited was like it wasn't like I wasn't trying to invite. Like 'cause when I hear that, it's like, oh, I could have invited, but I didn't. it didn't really feel
Mhm.
that way. It was really like, okay, the invitation isn't necessarily on the table. Now, like, yeah, there's a part of me that's like, I've always had an inviting personality. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Agreed.
I'm
Yes.
like, hey, like, let's do this thing. Like, let's be wild. Look out, like, there's something to that. But I think that the actual, like, oh, we're throwing a party, or like, hey, do you want to come over after school, or do like that energy, like, just didn't exist for me,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because that wasn't. But like, I'm like, can we all hang out? Do you want to go hang out? And then like not being intrusive about that, right? Because it was like it wasn't my
Mhm.
space here, like and here where I live right now, constant like y'all just want to come over. Like I'm like I have no plans. I think we can order pizza. I'm always just like we'll just order pizza if we need to, or you can come over. We're not doing dinner, but we can still hang. So I'm like I'm good with the invitation now.
Right. So thank you for that distinction. So what we're trying to delineate is you are an inviter. You are a welcomer. That's why we have this space, Outliers Edge. You've been a host for so many people to come into your podcast, and I know some of the people that have been coached by you. So that is your natural, or that is one of your gifts. But there's a underlying habit, or a small underlying inclination right now at the moment of not inviting into this movement on these live streams. And so we're just looking for the habituation. And it seems that there might be and now I don't know if it's just because there wasn't a space at home to actually have people over. Because I know your personality has been very vibrant and inclusive ever since you were little. But what we're trying to detangle is, what is it that's that underlying habituation to not invite, even though you are an inviter by nature. And that's what soul work is, right? It's like just detangling the little bit so that we can turn toward that part with your adult presence. And your adult presence is very much inviter. You know the pains of not being invited, and inclusivity is one of your massive superpowers. So all I'm curious about is detangling what it is that causes that hesitation on his part. I think it might be a younger part. Let me hand it back to you and see.
All right, let me see what he's feeling. So right now, and I can't tell if this is my younger self or my adult presence, but there's something that happened in conversation that just like reminded me that like invitation is my superpower. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, like invitation is my leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were talking about like how good it felt, like how good it felt to be invited. Um,
Yes.
it's not answering your question directly, but I feel like I need to say this so I can like presence this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's something where like the adult presence is like, wouldn't it be awesome to just give that to other people? Like what if we were to
Yes.
come from this place and just be like, hey, maybe you're over here thinking everyone's gonna come here and then they'll just like click the link and like that's how it's gonna work versus like being like but dude like you yourself were like sitting there waiting for someone to invite like what if this doesn't come off as a burden or like because like the problem that I have one of the problems I have right now and I don't know like I'm gonna unpack it through my current element and we can see where like if my younger self was
Uh-huh.
in it but there's like who I am and what I do are very like intertwined. Like I'm doing Outliers Edge no matter what. Like no matter what. Like I am even if I don't call it Outliers Edge. But like it's like when I'm hanging out with my friends and like we get into starting to play um D&D and Magic the Gathering here, right? It's because there was a really cool person who like had like a very strong feeling about like um D&D and like we started off with that. I'm like, hey, like let's do this. Like when it came up in conversation, it was embraced and like uplifted and then like it's like become real so that almost with the last 2 years, the year and a half we've been playing this game together, and it's continued to grow into other things. So I feel like there's a real part where the he looks at it as somewhat as a burden, almost like, hey, if I invite you, like I'm gonna be burdening, or because this is a part of who I am, like the movement.
Mm,
It doesn't have that cleanliness of just being like, hey, I'm inviting you for you. There's this like other part of like, I'm inviting you because like, and that's gonna lead to something, and you're gonna get something, and I'm gonna ask for money in exchange, or I'm gonna ask for your time in exchange. Like there's gonna be some kind of exchange that takes place. And I think that there's also another part that's like I really value people and their time. And so I know that the movement is powerful. I know that there's something there. Um, it's really it's the way in which the invitation comes out. It's almost like there's a like I like and I'm trying to go back to my younger self to see what's there, but I'll speak from what's showing up right now, which is
right.
like there's a way that I can make the invitation that's um this is like on the surface, like, oh, do I invite them to one-on-one coaching? Do I invite them to come to the movement? Da, 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 like all those things, but all those things are just like the delivery vehicle. Like I think what's missing is the invitation of I see you, coming from that place and being like, hey,
Mm,
come, like you're being seen, and I want you to be a part of this thing, but there's the challenge, the tension comes, and is like from like, is the invitation coming because, yeah, I think there's a way to invite that doesn't feel like it's about them, but rather it's about me, right? And I think
mhm.
that part there, I can't find like the younger element. Maybe if you ask me some questions, like I'm thinking about this, I'm like, where might this have shown up with my younger self, and what like how does this show up for him? But I want to make sure I'm present in this right now because this is what feels like it's on the table.
I think we move with this. So what we're trying to do is find the distinction, and maybe that led us close to it, but I think this is feeling more resonant. So one thing that we note is that from our wound is our medicine, right? That's sort of the idea of
Mhm.
alchemy, and the idea of being able to give that invitation that feels so good. So it
Mhm.
could even be, so I'm going to ask you, it could even be an adult presence hesitation in that you want to make sure that what you're offering is good, or the way you invite is right. Or there might be a younger, we're not sure, but let me stay here with you.
Yeah.
So from your medicine of like understanding what it feels like to be invited,
Mhm.
if you bring that into the idea of inviting people, just as you started to, can you stay with that for a little bit and see?
Yeah, I think now this is getting into, if we're going to look at it from the adult presence side of things, it's a mix of tactics, but also um tactics, strategy, but underneath it all, like feels like what feels good,
Hmm.
I'm gonna like and this is where like having the soul come on, like soul in my counsel,
Yes.
like come on is important because like the soul's like, dude, come on now, right? Like you are here on this planet for something. Like there are people out there that are, I'm going to use the word suffering because that's the word that came to mind, right? They're suffering, and we may be suffering with a smile on our face, but like there's so much more that we could be having, and you like the difference between, because I don't think I'm the solution. I think like we are the solution, if that makes sense. Like just not having to do it alone, right? Um, I have something that I bring to the table, but similar to how I was saying earlier, like I have multiple coaches. There's different people I bring in the space because they have different gifts, right? So there's a part of me that's like given how, sorry, I'm like my body's like contracted, and then like my stomach was like, "Ugh." um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's I'm going to play out a couple of things. I think that with people that I already know, there's a way that I can make an invitation that will come off as, um, I want the invitation to come off grounded. I realize that. I'm afraid of
Mm-hmm.
being like, hey, come join the movement. Like, it's this free community I'm putting together. Like, that element is like, oh, that's really cool. Like, Niiamah's doing something. Like, I have my own life, but like, that's cool. Good thumbs up. Like, that's one energy that this can come out as. Um, I think that the more that what feels like very real for me, like there's another thing just like, hey, I want to support, like I'm doing live sessions on here. Why don't you come on and grab a live session? That feels good. right? So that's
Mhm.
coming from a place of like supporting, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's an energy to supporting that's real and true. But I love when you said earlier, like Niamah's coached me, like we're peers in this game. Like that's really how I want to look at this thing with all of my clients, all the people like in here. Where I'm like we're peers. Like, and I have something very special and unique that I offer, and like I need to make sure that it is sustainable from a financial perspective and beyond to be able to offer this to as many people as possible. So that like because then the product itself, the thing we do gets even better. Um, but I don't like but I don't need to show up in support for you, if that makes sense. Like I don't need it to be like, do you have something wrong? Can I come up like can I come in there? It's like, no. I'm like, it's I haven't found a sense of like, I think you're like a cool like I think you should become a member of this club, you know? And like we're up to great things together. And this is what the vision of the club is, and this is why I'm thinking that you should be a part of it, and this is what we do. Like, I don't have that going on right now, and I
Mhm.
think that that's what I want to enroll people into. That's what I want to invite people into. Like, and sometimes I get lost with the language of movement. I'm using it because it's so for when people hear it, like when it lines up, it's like outliers, like the word outlier. Like when people are like, I don't think of myself as an outlier on a daily basis, but when I read it, I'm like, yeah, like I am an outlier, huh? You know, or like, and the same thing with movement. They're like, I wasn't thinking I was leading the movement, but like when you put it in this context, like, yeah, this like I'm using a business to lead a movement. Like, got you. So I think I don't want to lose my train of thought on it, but I think that um I think there's something tied to this where it's like and I want to make sure that I'm inviting them into the movement itself. No, I want to see them. I want them to know that they are seen and that I think they're awesome. And I have a space that I am bringing all the people who are that I see who are also awesome together. And during it, doing it, some of the things we get are community, some of the things we get are coaching, some of the things we get are stretching ourselves out there. But it's really, I think the real element is like if I'm trying to just grow the movement, eh,
Mhm.
if I'm trying to be like, hey, I can coach you, but if it's like, hey, I see you, and I think that we should play, and like this is what I've needed, and this is why I'm bringing together, and you like I'm inviting you to be a part of something real. That feels different than how many people can I get in. Like it's like just finding the right energy of that. I think it's the energetic alignment because I know that the action is going to take place. I don't expect people to watch a live stream and then say like I'm joining. Not yet. They will, but not yet. But I think
Mhm.
it's the energy of it all. Mm.
I know we're getting to time, and we usually have
Yeah.
longer sessions, but I want to, if it's okay, I want to tie a few threads together and
Yeah.
see if this resonates. So when we were looking at younger story, younger point of view, maybe we were like slightly adjunct to where we needed to be. But one of the things that you said was like there was a glass
Yeah.
between me and
Yeah.
as soon as like you got the invitation, it felt so
Peace. Yeah.
good.
Hmm.
And and I know my own experience is not the topic here today, but I do have that experience of feeling like I was lucky to get the invitation because, like, I'm Asian and I'm a second class citizen, and like, I felt like, oh my gosh, I got in, but also I'm less than you, is sort of how I felt. There was some wounds there for me. So, what I'm curious about is as you're describing this movement and being peers,
Mm.
the invitation that you're wanting to offer does not put the person receiving last place. It, you're leading this movement, but there's a nuance here that you're not like, here, this is what I'm going to do for you. But I'm curious if like that is healing the wounds or the stories that you and I both took slightly differently when we were younger. And maybe in your medicine, there's a deep wisdom of when I'm leading this movement, but
Mm.
you're important, you, the
Yeah.
outlier. And how do you, And let me give
Yeah.
that back to you.
Yeah, no, that feels good. That feels good. I have to wrap up the convo, but like I think that like
Mm,
I think it's that's where like the adult presence wants to be. I am leading this movement. And so it's not but it'll be like an and like you are absolutely like a part of this. And like and there will be a an investment asked of you of multiple forms, an investment of courage, an investment of money, an investment
yes.
of vulnerability, an investment of time, an investment of caring, you know, and there will be a return that comes to you in terms of like showing up fully in there, being able to bring in more financials and you're coming in there, like the freedom, so on and so forth. So I think that there's this component of like, I am leading this movement. I am leading this movement. And I see you and I want and like and I do want you to be a part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's really something in that space, and I think that like the other place I want to lean into is it's almost like I came up with this way of like reaching out to people cold, which would be like involve like GPT going through and like basically seeing them and like being like, all right, look at all the things there and let them feel seen and then invite. And I think that that's really it. I think that what I'm taking from this year is like I think we start with seeing people. All right.
Mm,
And like
mm,
a part of me is like, oh, but this is going to a free movement and this that, and the other. Like, do I have the time to go and see every single person individually as it is? I'm like, you know what? I spent the last week trying to figure out like how to do this like without doing that. What if instead you were just like similar how you had the 10,000 minutes, like you were just like calling another person and being like, I see you. And by the way, I'm leading this
yeah.
movement and like I see you in the movement. So get yourself over that, you know, like, and let's play.
Yes.
So there's I think seeing is the path. I think that's really what I'm like leaning into right now. It's like I want the energy of that. It's less about come join my thing and more like oh, I finally like I've been because people have been asking for this sauce. And I think that's like people have been at
Yes.
like they've been asking to not be alone. And I have done
Right.
everything but doing like that's why even like one-on-one coaching is like not a solution because they're still alone. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Right.
Like on the meta, I'm missing it, you know? It's part of
Yes.
why I'm glad we got a chance to share this other because I'm like, hey, look, someone else might be feeling how I'm feeling and trying to like, or like I'm messy. I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, I'm like, what is this? How does it work? Um, yeah, I think grounding this into like the invitation itself is service. Like that is something that I don't think I was tying myself into. I was tying it more into like, and I got this from the podcast. A number of people were like, "How did you find my podcast?" Like I'd like no one even knew it existed, but now I'm thinking about getting back into it and all this stuff. Like it makes a difference to get an invitation. I also get the people who are like, "Unsubscribe. How did you find my email?" Like, and so I think I'm on that side of
Uh,
things. But like we couldn't have done this if I didn't go through and send an invitation to come be on the podcast. Like we wouldn't have had
right.
this relationship, this peership, this friendship. Like it wouldn't have existed. I think I want to just like ground myself into that over and over and over again, because like I'm too narrowly being like, how's this going to turn into revenue? It's like stop. That's like how it does. It's because when you talk to people, people get experiences of you. Things take off from there. So I'm feeling good in this moment to like have the conversation sit here. We would normally go longer, but I
Right.
also have to take off here. Um, can I say thank you?
Yeah, and thank you. It really hit me that without the invitation to the podcast that we wouldn't know each other.
Yeah.
That's oh my gosh, that is so life altering for me. If you didn't make that invitation,
Mm.
that y- that's that's really impactful to me. That's a completely life altering situation for me. So, thank you for inviting me back then. And yeah, we'll wrap up more later on, but thank you for this beautiful reflections.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing that. I appreciate that. Like, I think I often see invitations as a burden, which is good, or an interruption, or like, and I'm like, oh no, like I just have to keep doing it, and like, and
Yes.
yeah, and I think like the where it's coming from makes a difference. It's like there's a way to invite and it's spam, and there's another way to invite and it's like and it's just the wrong time or it's persistent. Like all those things feel different. And I think that there's something in there where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, if it's about me and I'm just like, you want to come, like that feels spammy versus like coming in. I'm really grateful to
Mm.
have this here.
And it
All right.
harkens back to soul, which you said we were like, oh, that's going to be important. We put that to the side, but that's exactly what you're saying here. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of inner knowing here, Niyama.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited to play with
Thank
this
you.
here. Outliers. We're gonna end this stream here. Like welcome. This is it. We got a chance. Sauce has done some really great work. Sauce, why don't you let them know if anyone wants to go deeper down their soul, like have some conversations around their younger self and their adult presence. Like how do they do that and get in touch with you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks. I would love to work with anyone. I am at a sanctuaryforthesoul.com and
All right.
everything's there.
All right, cool. A
Okay.
sanctuary for the soul. Thank you so much here. We're going to wrap up our conversation. Outliers, until like, do me a favor, leave a comment with anything that you got from this. Like, I'm making this up, right? There's no thing behind this. Like, y'all are seeing me create my body of work in real time by trying to just figure out like I know that I'm on a purpose. I know that I'm towards something, and we're going to keep going. So like your comments make a difference. Your ability to let me know what's happening makes a difference, and I want to genuinely see you. So if you're called into knowing that like I'm here to be all of me while helping you be all of you and lead the change that you're on this planet to do with engines that sustain it, go ahead, use your phone. You go to use the QR code to come and join the Outliers Edge movement. It's free to come and join us. We you get we're I just get a chance to get to know everyone, and we build what you're here to build. You can also go to school.com/outlier to go and join up directly. But know that like I'm appreciative of this, and I'm grateful for you all. All right. Until the next time we talk, be you on purpose, Outlier.